Okay, I think we'll just kick off, and then if anyone else joins in the session halfway through, they can feel free to join. The session is being recorded, so we'll also post this afterwards as well for anyone that can make it. But let's just jump straight into it. My name is Caleb. I'll be taking you through this workshop today in partnership with New South Wales Small Business Month. We'll be discussing high impact TV ads and how you can use that for your business in your overall strategy. So 9 Ad Manager is a one simple marketing platform for small businesses. And if you don't know who we are or what we do, hopefully this next reel kind of gives you a taste of that. So let's see if this plays through now.
What is it about television that still captures a nation? Make it legendary. Thanks, mate.
Ooh, let me just replay that again.
Next. Next. What is it about television that still captures a nation? Make it legendary. Turns moments into movements, drama into dinner party debate, and live sport into powerful fandoms. Fragmented world, television on 9 brings Aussies together. We tell stories, we entertain, we inform. We've been at the heart of Australian homes for decades.
That's tough. There you go.
No one does TV quite like us. And what's next is even greater. New partnerships, HBO Max joining the 9 family, each champions premium content, powered by smarter tech, deeper data, and sharper strategy.
My eggs are still very fresh.
We're now the official home of rugby. Wallabies, Wallaroos, and the upcoming Men's and Women's World Cup, all live, free and exclusive through the 23rd. Oh, that's brilliant! And we have a mega lineup still to come. Iced Young, Hot Love Island,
I can't believe I'm going.
a twist on romance with an all-new Golden Bachelor. Oh my goodness. Plus the heart-stopping action of Origin, Melbourne Cup, and the Australian Open. And don't forget Scotty from the block. That's me. This is television that grips the country. More Aussies tuning in than ever before.
At the stage,
This is television with purpose, with power, with scale. This is only on TV.
Okay, so hopefully that was able to give you an insight into who we are here at Channel 9. There's a lot of content that you can advertise your business across, especially the Blocks finals this upcoming week. So there's some exciting things that's happening. In today's session, we're going to learn what makes a TV ad work. We're also going to review a lot of creative, so sit back and relax while we go through each one. And then we'll show a couple case studies as well of real life advertisers and the results that they received on the back end of their campaigns. And then if we have time at the end, we'll go through a demonstration on the AI video creation tool that we have on 9 Ad Manager that you can use for your business. And while I go through the creatives today, I would just like to mention, if you can think of a website, or if you want to post your website or business, then we can use that in that demonstration later on. So if you want to add your business website, then I can take a look, and then we can create kind of a bespoke video for you during today's session. Otherwise, we will just use an example of another business. Cool, let's kick it off now. So in this section, we're going to go through the best practices when it comes to creatives and how that can elevate your ad game, and then talk about the tips for standing out as well. So if you have no idea how to start or where to begin, hopefully in the next few slides, you'll be able to see what is currently out there in market and what you can do to take away and use that in your next creative sessions. So the first video here, and just to reiterate, all these videos have gone on and have been used. So that kind of shows you the different range of businesses that have been on across our platform, and hopefully there's one that's similar to your business here today. The first one here is Australian Caravan Centre. They did a 30-second video. Their call to action, as you'll see in a second, is all about pricing. They add on a free addition to their product. The visual that you'll see here with this imagery of the thumbnail is about cold campers, and you'll go for a walkthrough of their product as well. The emotional appeal for this one is to beat the cold this winter. So hopefully this next 30 seconds, you can see what they were trying to achieve and how they were advertising their product.
Come on, Gaz, get your family into one of these vans. Beat the cold this winter with our Supreme Classic 21'6" family van from only $69,990. This family van is our most popular layout. Full-size ensuite, wash machine, and we'll even throw in a diesel heater. Our Australian-made caravans are in stock now at our factory-owned dealerships along the east coast of Australia. So be like Gaz and get a new van today.
So as you can see, during that video, it was quite simple. It showed the product in the different angles within the caravan. It shows the location if you're nearby to visit them, if you want to go on site. And they threw in that incentive, a free heater, for as part of their clearance stock sales that you see there. So that was kind of an incentive that you can use to create that sense of urgency for customers who are wanting to get more information about your product. They're able to take away something extra special. And if you can offer something like that during a video that's primarily for sales, I think that will be very helpful. This next one here is from Kiki Early Learning. It's an early childhood center, very local business, primarily targeting families, younger families who need daycare services or education overall. Their ad length, as you'll see, is 16 seconds, so a little bit shorter and condensed than the 30-second option that you just saw. But you can play around with the lengths. You can keep them shorter or you keep them longer. There's a kind of wiggle room that you can play with your ad length. Some differ in terms of call to actions. 30 seconds, as you saw in the last one, is all about brand awareness. You'll be able to see the product as much as possible and get in a lot of details within that 30 seconds. 16 seconds are more sharp, straight to the point. You've got one message that you want to share with your audience. The call to action, as you'll see, is about learning more. Again, trying to create that sense of urgency for those families to get in touch with the Learning Center. And then you'll see another walkthrough of the care center, interaction and play, and then an emotional appeal would be space to grow. So we'll just play this one here.
Kiki Early Learning has been providing high quality, family owned education and care since 2003. Find space for your child to play, learn and grow at Kiki Early Learning.
So you can see there that was very emotional. It had a softer tone in comparison to the first one that was kind of like, get it now, we've got a sale. This one is obviously creating a more aspirational type atmosphere. It showed simple images of the children playing and growing, which is what they want to perceive here during this ad. They have this lovely end frame here that shows clearly the brand, the website, and where you need to go if you want to learn more information. And it's family owned and operated. So it's a very small business in a local area. So that kind of plays off a different tone that you can kind of adjust when you're advertising. You can create that high impact ad that you saw in the earlier example if you want to create kind of like a sales fast paced type of ad. Otherwise, this one is a bit more slower. It's a bit more positive, and it's a bit more about those families rather than trying to get a sale in. that makes sense. But anyways, we'll move on to the next example. This is a hardware store up in Cairns, I believe. You can quite clearly see from the thumbnail that this is a local small business up in Cairns. So they've got clear information just from this thumbnail here where they're located. So if you do see this ad, having information easily accessible so that the audience that watches this ad can know where they need to go, especially for a hardware store. You'd want to go in person versus making an online sale, for example. The ad length for this one is 30 seconds. You'll see throughout this ad that they're giving some prizes away for their customers. So again, kind of tying in back to that first example, if you've got something that you can incentivize, that can kind of drive foot traffic into those locations because it gets people out from their homes into your stores, and you can have those meaningful conversations when you see them about. The visuals that you'll see is quite clearly a hardware store. You've got tools out and about, and the emotional appeal, again, creating that sense of urgency and fast-paced nature of the advert. So we'll just give this one a play.
Cairns Hardware Tool Centre $5,000 monthly giveaway. Every $100 spent in store gives you a chance to win. Makita 40-volt max brushless slide compound saw kit includes 2 4-amp batteries and rapid charger, $14.95. Makita Bluetooth job site radio skin, $3.95. Stanley Fatmax 1200mm box beam level with storage bag, $65.95. Sutton XP Bullet Jobber 25-piece drill bit set, only $1.95. And your chance to win $5,000 this month at Cairns Hardware Tool Centre, Lion Street.
So another really good ad, and that's probably something that you see often in TV nowadays, is like a product focus video. It kind of went through a montage of the different products they had available and the pricing points attached. You kind of want to give as much information as possible in that 30 seconds to that audience. If you've got multiple range of products, something like that definitely helps out. It's different to branding videos where you don't kind of go through that montage and price point. You kind of build up the brand, so it's slightly different tone and messaging. It has an M frame here where you can see the address, the website, and the brand logo. It was quite simple. There wasn't that much creativity. It was like a lot of pop-ups on the video. So when you are filming, you can just take some simple imagery and then overlay that with the brand or the text on top of it. So that was a good kind of product-focused video there. This next one was from Cox Industries. This video is 30 seconds. It is another product focus or demonstration. You'll see the power of the engineering steel tough products that they offer. It's a local dealer as well, and you'll see a full product range similar to the last video as well. Slightly different tone, but you can kind of see what they're trying to portray here.
Box mowers, over 70 years in the game. Outdoor yard care equipment specifically for the Aussie block. From push mowers to the legendary Stockman ride-ons, a big range of zero turns, standards, commercial mowers, wood chippers, and more. And it don't matter whether you're suburban smooth or acreage rough. It's a Cox. Engineered steel tough.
You can kind of see how it kind of played on the emotions there a bit. This is a really good video because it shows the product in action. So it showed them actually mowing grass across a hill, or that thick kind of, if you've left your lawn unmown for a while, you can see how overgrown that was and how easily that kind of product went over that. So quite clearly showcasing your product in action does help a lot for the audience to see what they're getting and how easy it is to use or to perform, and how tough it is as well. So that kind of product demonstration style video does help. And that last video was just showing you, this is what it is, this is the price. Otherwise, in this example, they kind of showed you using the product in action across the lawns and the different types of terrain. So I think this is a good example of a product in action. It says visit your local dealer, and they have that brand there at the end. So this is a really good example of a specific product being used in action This one is actually quite interesting. So this was from fineprintco.com. They actually featured across the block. So if there's any block viewers attending or watching the session today, you would pretty much know what a Bromley is. It got featured quite a range of homes throughout the season of the block. A local dealer as well in Melbourne, Daylesford. So this is quite a special one because they actually advertised their product once they were on the block. So it's kind of a twofold effect. You'll see the product on the show, and then during an ad break, you'll also see the ad. So it kind of reinforces that messaging when you are advertising your business. So this ad length is 20 seconds. It's kind of in that sweet spot, not too long, not too short, but just enough time to get the message across. This will be slightly different to the ones that we've watched earlier. This is purely branding focused. You're not kind of selling a product or showcasing it in action, so to speak. You're just kind of letting it speak for itself. Show, don't tell, if that makes sense. So you'll see a very inspirational, simple style video, not overly produced, not much graphics at all, just a simple aesthetic style video. And it kind of reinforces the message of the Bromley artwork that you would see on the block. And the targeting that they applied to their campaign was across the block. So this kind of makes sense in a way if you are familiar with the business. I'll just play this ad here. So you can kind of see there wasn't a voiceover. There was, subtle music playing in the background. It kind of showcased that homeowner going to the website quite easily, making a purchase, getting it delivered, and then getting it installed in their home. So very overly simplified version of getting an order. I wish it was that quick. Usually it takes a wee while, but you can kind of see how simple it was to go onto the website, navigate the website and make a purchase for a product, and then have that installed at home is quite simple as well. Again, you'll see a common theme with a lot of these creatives that they have an end frame. So you kind of want to make a lasting effect or reminder of your business. Yes, they saw your ad. Okay, what do they need to do in order to get the product that you're advertising? So it's really important that when you are creating your content that you have an end frame. Sometimes it doesn't help because it takes a lot of space or it might not be as memorable. So you want to keep it very simple. You don't want to overcrowd the end frame. Simply having your brand, your logo per se, the website or information that you need, like a phone number, would be very helpful. And then you can see it has partnerships and accepts different types of payment methods through Afterpay and Apple Pay. So this is quite simple and really good to keep it memorable at the end. This one is a plumbing and heating business. You'll see that this ad is 30 seconds long. The call to action would be fix now, pay later. You can kind of see this reminds us of the first example that I showed. We got a cold family who are struggling with keeping warm. And so you'll see that kind of emotional appeal is kind of similar, kind of different now that we're in spring and winter, spring and summer, but this ad obviously ran through in winter period to create that emotional connection. So you have a visual thumbnail here of a cold family and then they need to get their heating fixed. So let's play this video here.
Heater not heating, not the way to get through winter. Heating back on. Payments later. Fix now, pay later, we're talking.
Say, work, I heard my pay.
Also very important to remind those joining the session today that if you do have a product that is financial in some way, or you offer services like here, to have disclaimers clearly present. It's a responsibility of our advertisers to make it clear if you've got a product, to mention and disclaim those details throughout the duration of your creative. And we do have a guideline on our website as well that you can follow when you are working on creating your content. You can use that as a reference point, but that's just a quick reminder. You'll also see that kind of transition from a cold family to now a satisfied and warm family. The location shoot you would have seen is just in a house. It's quite simply a couple frames of the family there, and it's panning off to the heater on the side. So you don't have to overcomplicate your creatives. You don't have to have, large production where you're shooting at many different sites and having a montage. You can just quite clearly keep it simple in one location and one angle. So yeah, that's a really great example of a plumbing and local heating business that also offered flexible payment options. This one will be slightly different, or slightly similar, to the Fine Print Co. Artistic ad that we saw earlier. Zoe Olivia, you'll see in this video, is quite short, it's 14 seconds long, so we're more so focused on the brand itself rather than a product or information about the product. So you can kind of see that you can create content where it speaks for itself. Again, show, don't tell. So this one, you'll see it's quite visually appealing. It's product focused, but in a subtle way. It showcases a new product range, and you can kind of see here how emotionally appealing it can be when you watch this type of video. So let's play this video now. So again, very simple, no voiceover needed, slight subtle music in the background, and it's just the model itself showcasing the jewelry product that Zoe Olivia offer. So it's a quite simple ad, just on probably a location at a beach, possibly, with a model and then the products available. So again, not overly produced, just really pleasing to the eye, quite simple. You can kind of let the product speak for itself and represent your brand in a different way. So it's just slightly different to the other fast-paced type of ads that we would have seen today. And from a jewelry brand, again, a small business, you kind of just let it speak for itself. You don't need to go overly in depth in terms of pricing or delivery or anything like that. You can kind of just let it speak for itself. And that demographic will be more drawn to this type of ad. Cool. I think from memory, this is a local bookstore, exchange store. Again, you can kind of see from the thumbnail that they've got a address available. So the user knows that, okay, I've got to go to this address. And this would have been targeted in that local area of Albury, where those audiences would know the location and be able to visit that quite clearly. You've got the logo there on the bottom right by the book, and the overall branding colors being green. The ad length you'll see is 30 seconds. It's a local bookstore as well. It's going to showcase a lot of books, quite obviously, so that's the product that they offer. And then they're showcasing a new genre as well. So we'll just give this one a play.
Welcome to Buy the Book, the largest pre-loved bookstore in the region. Located in Lavington, this beloved book exchange has been open over 35 years now. Step into your happy place, where over 60,000 pre-loved books await your discovery. Every genre fills our well-organized shelves, each book to delight and inspire. Whether you're seeking fiction, collectibles, or a hidden treasure, begin your next reading adventure at buythebook.allberry.com.au.
So that video example actually was made using our AI tool. So I'll show you in a demonstration later on today, but I thought I'll show you an example of a finished video from our platform. Slightly different to the highly produced ones that you saw earlier, but essentially it gets the message across. You've got all the details that you need. You've got the logo, you've got the website, you've got the address, very important key factors here. You saw all the books that were offered, and then, you know, it's quite nice in terms of an ad. The voiceover you heard as well was from the local book owner. They just recorded their voice on their mobile phone or device, and then when uploading their AI video, they just added that audio file, and that has a nice personal touch as well. So when you are creating your content, especially for founders or small businesses who don't have a huge team, you can create a personal ad that speaks from the heart, because you're able to come across a little bit different than a, you know, professional voice actor. You can kind of pull on the heartstrings, make it personal, and have that extra touch to your ad. And they'll be like, oh, I heard your voice, if they come to see you in store, for example. So that was a really good AI video. And I don't know about you, but I wouldn't have not known that was made using AI. Nook Saunas, a really good brand ad. It's quite humorous, as you'll see, very chaotic and relaxed. So you'll kind of see that this person here is having a moment and probably needs some time to relax. So this is Nook Saunas. You'll obviously see their product is a sauna. It's 22 seconds long, and this is a combination of a brand ad specifically showcasing their product and in some ways making it relatable as well. So we'll just play this one here for you. So hopefully that kind of gives you a taste of how creative that you can be with your content. You can make it relatable here. You know, families having a very stressed time, you need a moment to relax. The audio transition, if you heard, it was kind of like that fast-paced rock style music, and then as soon as the mother here stepped into the sauna, it kind of went silent, showcasing that change of transition there. It's quite subtle. And then, yeah, sometimes you just need to take a moment from your kids, I would say. So it's very funny, and then very aesthetic. You can have this portable sauna quite literally in your living room. So it's a very simple product to have. So very good brand style video, similar to Zoe Olivia and Fine Print Co. earlier. There's not much messaging on the pricing or a voiceover or any kind of sense of urgency. It's kind of quite clearly the brand. If you've got Nook, you've got simple text, chaos meet calm, and you kind of let the product speak for itself subtly in this chaotic environment. So that's a very good brand ad. Another brand ad from a food advertiser, quite short in comparison, 15 seconds. You quite clearly see here that it's very staged. It's clean, it's product focused, very simple. And I believe, I'm not a sports fan, so forgive me for this, but this is a famous boxer. I'm not too sure what their name is, but apparently some other people knew in the office, and I didn't know who it was. So if you know, you know, I don't know. So enjoy anyways. But you'll see that it's very dramatic and it's high impact in 15 seconds. Again, you don't have that much time in 15 seconds. You've got to keep it quick, short, sharp, straight to the point. Unless you have a 30-second video, you can kind of play a little bit longer. But with these shorter style videos, you kind of want to just get straight to the point. When you're watching TV, you know, you're not expecting to see, you know, hours of ads, but keeping it short, straight to the point really kind of cuts through the noise with other advertisers in the market. So let's just play this ad here.
If the internet makes you think that living up the ghost of vegetable past is a good idea, it's not. Don't believe the Pulp Fiction. Treat your body right with the clean protein-packed goodness of Fiber Boost.
You can kind of see there that was very dramatic. They put the phone in the blender juicer and kind of turned it on. It's very dramatic. You've got the product there at the end, kind of focused and zoomed in. You've got the product here as well at the end, Treat Your Body Right, again, playing on the emotional heartstrings there. Available online or at your local supplement store. And then you've got the brand fiberboost.com up there at the top. So it's a very good, quite clean video. I believe this is the last one of our examples today. So we've got a trade example here. You'll see that it's 30 seconds long. The call to action at the end will have a free quote. So that's kind of a good example to give. If you can offer a service, if there's like a consultation process, offering a free quote can also help in getting those new leads to have those conversations as well. The visuals, there'll be a compilation here of drone footage, close-up shots. So very similar to some of the ads that we saw earlier where you kind of let it speak for itself. You're showcasing your service, which is a trade. And the emotional appeal as well is that this business is a full service business that can cater to a wide range of your home needs. So we'll just play this one here for you. Cool. You can kind of see that that one is probably the most highly technical and highly produced ad that we've seen today. There was a lot of transitions, there was a lot of music, there was a lot of text, there was a lot of drone footage, the transitions in the video as well. It's quite highly produced. So if you can invest in a videographer or an agency that can help create content, I think it is well worth it to have that available. You can reuse that constantly, with the hardware store option that we saw earlier or the Caravan Center sale ad we saw. Those ads are kind of one-time use. You're not always going to have those same products at that price point. You might have a sale or the sale's no longer up. So when you're creating content, you want to make sure you have a variety that kind of lasts long and they can be used multiple times, not just a one-off. So there was not that much information on there that kind of dates. You kind of will see the trade process. But yeah, that was kind of a good one because it showcased their solar installations, their electrical applications there. They're getting really stuck in, so you kind of see that they are physically present. And then they have that kind of last end frame there that had a free quote, their phone number, their brand, and all their accreditations as well as a trade service. So if you are a trades business, hopefully that gives you inspiration on you creating an ad for your business. I believe that's all the ads examples. So hopefully you've learned a little bit from the range of businesses that we've showcased today. I guess a recap overall is to have a strong call to action. What is it that you want the viewer to do when they're watching your ad? Do you want them to visit your website? Do you want them to come in store? Do you want them to scan a QR code, which I didn't have an option here for you today, but that is something that you can think about. Like, what is the call to action that you want to, or the main message essentially that you want to showcase to your audience? You want to create interest. You want to create some subtlety, with the Zoe, Olivia, and Fine Print Co. ad. It kind of let the product speak for itself. You're like, oh, okay, what is that? I need to find more information. It created that emotional appeal and that draw for me to go to the website to find out more information. If it's a sale ad, you've got only a limited time before it runs out, create that sense of urgency, like, okay, I've got to go and jump on the sale before it ends. So you create that interest as much as you can throughout the duration of your video. Showcase value as well, for, flexible payment options, or if it is, bang for your buck or your investment, showcasing value can definitely help as well. Building emotion from the key learning ad that we saw earlier. that's more family oriented, showcasing children playing around. So it kind of pulls on the heartstrings from that perspective. The Zoe Olivia one, again, is very aesthetic. So you're building emotion there. You can have high intensity music in this last example from Levi's Electrical to create that sense of electrified experience. So that kind of builds on the overall business. Apply your brand as much as possible. You want to make it clear where people can find you. So have your brand clearly present at all times during your content, whether it be, somewhere on the bottom or on the top of your creative, so that people can see, oh, okay, that is the brand. And then that is the website. That's the two key information that you need to showcase to your audience so that they can recognize you and find you wherever you are advertising as well across multiple channels. And then quite simply, as I said, website, location, phone number, those are some important details that you can provide on your creative asset to drive that traffic from sitting down on their couches watching TV to Googling on their phone, or having something memorable like a 1-800-111 like kind of ringtone can definitely help those users remember those details, especially if it's a 15-second ad. It's quite short. You want to make it easy for your audiences to find your business. So those are all the creatives that we have today. We'll go into a couple case studies, and then as well, we can go into a demonstration of the AI tool. So the case studies that we have today are from a e-commerce advertiser, Princess Polly. They're one of our largest clients who have received a lot of growth and return on the back end of their advertising through our channels. So they do a lot of advertising across a lot of channels, but not TV. So their challenge was trying to target their specific audiences, a younger demographic who are looking to shop for clothing, and measure the performance of that as well. So we have a pixel on our platform that you can download and upload to your website. And essentially how that works is if your viewer audience sees your ad, they go on their phone, they go to your website and make a purchase, you can track that back to your campaigns and your creatives. So we can say, hey, this creative worked best. Let's invest in something similar, or let's run that next time. That creative and the third creative that didn't do so well, let's skip that for the next campaign and focus on this first one that's driven a lot of revenue and results and leads to your business. And that's how they were able to get a 17 times return on ad spend on their campaigns. So Princess Polly is a good fashion business. If you relate to this as well, this is something that you can also achieve through our platform. So there was quite a lot that happened in that video there. You've got a range of call to action to download the app. There's a cyber sale Sunday. There was a promo code. There's a brand at the end here. It had a lot of models with a lot of products on them. So it kind of lets the product speak for itself in a way. Quite electric in terms of the music. So you can kind of see there was a combination of details that this advertiser used that we discussed earlier on. So a really great example of a good creative. Again, it kind of is dated because it's only for a specific sale purpose, Cyber Monday or Black Friday, which is great for this upcoming month. But you want to kind of create a combination of videos as much as you can.
The power of streaming TV with the ability to measure it dollar for dollar, that's a total game changer. I'm Zia Holmes, FCM lead at Princess Polly. I'm Kim Zorn, and I'm the Global Performance Director at Princess Polly. Since coming on board, the results have been incredible. It's given us triple-digit growth. We've had 10 times return on ad spend since using the platform. A huge benefit of 9 Ad Manager is that we're able to reach new and engaged audiences that we wouldn't reach anywhere else. It meant that we could go beyond social, reach new audiences on 9 Now, and measure our results down to the dollar. Setting up any new ad platform can be difficult, but 9 Ad Manager was completely different. Our first campaign, we were logged in and ready to go within half an hour, and we were starting to see results within the week. When it comes to creatives, it's super simple. We just upload them onto the platform and repurpose our social content. The platform is so user-friendly and affordable, it's perfect for marketing experts, but is also accessible to smaller businesses who aren't as familiar with advertising platforms. Customer support has been incredible.
Hi Zaya, how are you?
I'm good, how are you going?
Can you give us some feedback on how you've been finding using the platform?
They help spark new ideas and point us in the direction of new audiences that we can test. It's given us confidence in our streaming TV expansion plans, knowing that we're part of an incredible team that's always there to help. Would I recommend 9 Ads Manager to small businesses? Without a doubt. Would I recommend 9 Ad Manager? Absolutely. We've had triple-digit growth, and now it's an always-on platform.
Advertise on the big screen on the biggest shows for as little as $550. 9 Ad Manager, where small goes big.
I completely forget that I'm in that video, and every time I see it, I'm always shocked. I'm like, oh, I can't believe I was in it. But anyways, hopefully that gives you an insight to Princess Polly's success. This is quite a familiar one. If you remember from the first creator that we saw earlier today, Australian Caravan Centre, another big advertiser on the platform, and saw great growth. So you can kind of see the two differences here. That first one from Princess Polly is, a clothing retail business, and now we're moving into an automotive business that's of a higher ticket item per se. So it's on either end. You've got impulsive buy, and then you've got more of a high ticket item that you spend more time thinking about. Australian Caravan Centre had a sale period as well. So as you remember earlier, they had a sale that were giving a free heater away. And so they wanted to clear their 2023 stock to make room for their latest models. When they advertised for our platform, they sold about 70 caravans in that 2-month period solely from doing TV advertising and nothing else. So they were able to see a lot of results on the back end of their campaign and saw a conversion rate of 21% as well. So it's a great example of a high price ticket item. Who would have thought that you would see an ad and want to buy a caravan that are very expensive, by the way. And that is a great result as well from us. So let's play the video here.
Streaming TV gave us such an amazing result. 70 fans in such a short amount of time. That was absolutely unbelievable. I'm Sigurd Albrecht, and I'm in charge of the marketing for Australian Caravan Centre. The first encounter with 9 Ad Manager was for our end of the year sale campaign. We wanted to add another level to our advertising channels where we had a bit more direct impact on the target markets that we wanted. Landing page numbers for a normal similar length campaign, we usually have 6,000 views, but for this campaign with 9 Ad Manager platform, we skyrocketed to 24,000 views, 70 vans in 2 months. It's an unbelievable result, and we have never seen sales coming in like that. Postcode targeting is extremely cost effective. You can work with small budgets. It's doable for every single company. You have absolutely no waste of budget. It is directly going to the target audience that you have set with your postcode targeting. Would I recommend 9 Ad Manager to other businesses? Absolutely, hell yeah. It's an amazing platform. It does what it needs to do, and it's an easy to use and cost effective way to reach your target audience.
Advertise on the big screen on the biggest shows for as little as $550. 9 Ad Manager, where small goes big.
Perfect. And the last one here we have from a local Ray White location. They wanted to sell a property here, and the pricing point for this property was about $4.7 million. When they were advertising through 9 Ad Manager, they can precisely target the local area in which this property was being listed at. And so they were able to see an online traffic increase of 17,000 views And so even before and after selling the property, just getting this opportunity meant a lot for this Ray White location, and they received a lot of people interested in texting them as well, that they noticed their ad. So it's another way in attracting a wide range of audiences that you typically might not be able to. Again, similar aspect to the Australian Caravan Centre. Obviously buying a home is quite costly, so being able to reach audiences across a wide range of channels, whether it be across emails, socials, adding TV into that definitely does help attract that high affluent individual. Another example from a real estate example, kind of showcasing the property walkthrough. It's got the agent's details at the end as well as the Ray White logo. So quite simple in terms of creative. It had some drone footage there, so it can be highly produced. But I think for a property such as this one here, I think it's quite well worth the investment. And it's played here again, but we'll just skip that. So now that you've learned so much information on what these amazing creatives can help do in terms of performance for your business, and you're sitting here saying, hey Caleb, I don't have an ad, like what can I do? So we have a AI tool in the platform, as I mentioned, and I'm wary of time. We've got about 10 minutes left, so I'll keep it quick. Essentially what this tool does is it takes your website and then it turns it into the ad that you've set. So the Buy the Book example that you saw earlier, that is an example of an AI video. Simply, you'll add in some details, you'll click generate, and then you can customize the video as well. So let me just go out of this slideshow and go into a live demo. And please bear with as I share my screen here, because especially with a live demo, it does not always tend to work. So let's just see if this works in the last few minutes that we have together. Cool, I think we can all see my screen here. And let me just double check if we have any questions thus far. Feel free to write. I know we're coming to the end, but if you've got any questions, feel free to use the chat there as well. If there is any kind of websites that we can use that as an example. Otherwise, we can just use a test one that I have. Looks like no questions so far, so that's perfect. You all understand what I'm trying to say. We will use an example website today. So this is 9 Ad Manager. This is the platform that you can use to advertise across our channels here. What I'm going to do is go into a pre-built campaign that I've made for this AI video demonstration part of today's workshop. So what you'll do here, if you have your own content that you're quite happy with and you're ready to upload that, you can just use this section here and upload your video following our technical specifications. If you don't have a creative, and that's why you joined today's session, what you can do is use this tool here to build a creative using our AI tool. So I'm going to do that for you today. I'm going to call this Island Radio. And then I'm going to go to a website here. This is just a client of ours that have recently done a campaign, so it's quite simple for me to use. This is a restaurant. You've got a website here. So essentially what you'll do is go to your website, copy the URL and enter it into our platform. So hopefully we'll get a lot of branding information from this website in terms of the colors. So we should see a lot of oranges, blues, some browns. We should get the logo. We should get some of these pictures and content here, as well as any information that's useful for us to know. So going back into our platform 9 Ad Manager, I'm going to add the website And this is the destination URL that you want to drive traffic to if they were to click onto your ad. Most times people can't click onto an ad when they're watching TV. So that's just specifically for mobile phone and desktop users. I'm going to add the website into the platform and import the brand and click the input button. And then we're just going to wait a couple seconds here for the AI system to go to the website and pull all that valuable information into our platform. So hopefully we'll get the logo, some colors, a range of assets, as well as some important information about the business and industry. As you can see here, we've got about 5 images and counting. So we'll just wait for this to finish up, and then we can double check that and continue creating a video. So possibly we'll only have enough time to make 1 video today, but that was all we need. So we've got 28 images, we've got a logo, so we've got some amazing information coming through. And then because we don't know about this business, so I'm just making a lot of assumptions today, we're just going to carry on with the information that we have. So if anything is inaccurate, I'm sorry, Island Radio, we're using it as an example, but we're just going to continue onward. So we've got the Island Radio logo, got a range of colors, we've got the website. You can add in more information such as images, footage, or fonts that's not available on the website. Business name, Island Radio. It's got an About Us page, but their menu, their chef, their culture. It's got the industry, it's got the phone number, and it's got a partial address. So it's got all the information essentially we need for this restaurant. So we're going to continue onwards to the generation process of the video. But first, we need to set the directional focus point of the video. So there's going to be some populated options here for us. You can rewrite your own, but for time's sake, I'm just going to click on an option here. Bold flavors of Southeast Asia. I want to make it inspiring, but you can make it fun, laid back or professional. Just depends on the tone that you're after. I'm going to select English AU, and then let's generate a 15-second video, because that will be a bit quicker to download today. And then once you're happy, just click generate, and that's how we will create a video today. So it's going to take a couple minutes for it to fully download, but what you get in this video is some copyright-free music. It's got a script. It's going to apply a voiceover. It's going to apply the assets it's received from the website, and then it's going to generate some text for us as well. So essentially, once this finishes, we can watch a video together. And if you're happy with that, you can also use that video quite straight away. So you don't have to pay an agency or production crew to create a video for you, because you can create it yourself. You can use systems like Canva as well that have free creatives that you can use. So you don't have to spend too much on getting a creative done. So this is an example of a creative that you can use quite quickly, and you don't have to spend too much on back and forths and approvals and things like that. So it's quite a good option to have. So that video is finished there. If you say, you watch this video that we're about to watch and you're not happy with that, you can just generate again, and that'll just spit out another video option for you. But for this purpose, I'm just going to continue onwards. So let's play this video here.
Discover the bold flavours of Southeast Asia at Island Radio. Chef Andy Wiria's vibrant menu of satay, skewers and curries will electrify your senses. Join us for unforgettable dining in Redfern. Visit islandradio.sydney.
Cool. That was actually a really good video, I'm not going to lie. So I'm quite grateful that that came out. But you kind of see that was quite a simple video. That's really good to go. If you wanted to make some changes, you can absolutely do so. If there was like a spelling mistake, or if the audio wasn't right, or the imagery wasn't right, you can definitely customize the video to your liking. So you can use this tool here, and there's probably not enough time to go through every step, but essentially you can customize the video as you like. So let's just say we want to change this color from this one option here to white. You can absolutely do that. You can change the sizes. You can make it smaller, bigger. You can change the content inside of it. You can change the font. You can change this picture here. You can really customize the video to your liking. The only thing you can't change is the transitions. Those are hard embedded into the template, but you can change the pictures, the text, the content, and the voiceover. So if you didn't want a female voice, you can change it to a male voice. You can upload your own voice, like what Buy the Book did. They just uploaded their audio file. So you don't have to spend too long on customizing videos because you can get bogged down. But you know, you can quite simply use that video and it's good to go. You can create different versions. You can make a 30-second video. You can quite simply make content easily by using the platform. I'm just gonna play this again because I've changed the voice and then I've changed some of the text here to white just to show you the difference.
Discover the bold flavours of Southeast Asia at Island Radio. Chef Andy Wiria's vibrant menu of sate, skewers and curries will electrify your senses. Join us for unforgettable dining in Redfern. Visit islandradio.sydney.
Ooh, another really good voiceover. It did pronounce sate, satay as sate, so that's probably something that you'd want to pick up and make sure that you pronounce things correctly. Again, with AI, you might want to just spell things out phonetically, especially if satay, that's probably something that's very hard for the voice to pronounce. But hopefully that gives you an example of how you can create content. And let me just go back into my slides. There we go. And so in partnership with New South Wales Small Business Month, for the advertisers joining in today, we are offering a free creative. So example of what I just did there, what you'd need to do is go to 9admanager.com.au, create an account with us. It's a free account. You don't have to pay for anything. Go through the steps in setting up a campaign and following the creative processes I just showed you here today. And then message us at support@9admanager.com.au. And then we will provide you with the final video for you to use, not on 9 Manager. You can use it on a local cinema ad or across your website, social media, wherever you'd like. So just reach out to us once you've finished that video. If you do intend to use a video across our platform, we are also offering a 10% discount at checkout using the code NSW10. So that's an exclusive discount for you today. So I don't think there's any questions. So thank you very much for joining. I know we're coming to the end. If you do go onto the platform, feel free to message us as well. And I think I'm not sharing my content. So let me just go back to that quickly. And let me see if I can share this one more time. Let me go back. So this is the slide here that I was mentioning. Hopefully you can see that now. 9admanager.com.au is the website that you would create an account, campaign, and creative, and the discount code here, NSW10. So thank you very much for joining today. Hope you have an enjoyable rest of your day. Reach out to us if you have any questions and look forward to seeing you on the platform. Thank you.